You. Flawless. Okay, that's a lot to live up to. I'll try my best. Brilliant. My name is Ross Brooks. I'm a general partner at Katapult Ocean. Katapult Ocean is an Oslo-based venture capital fund manager investing from seed to Series B in the most exciting and important growth impact opportunity of our generation. You guessed it, it's the ocean. I'll start with a simple slide and I'll try and get more complex, but this will hopefully keep you with me. This is our planet Earth. It's blue. I think that's an important concept to start with. I've talked with several climate investors before, LPs who've said, hey, great, love the strategy. We do climate, you do ocean. And it's a really terrifying disconnect, which I need to rectify. So it is one thing you take away from this pitch. This is it. The ocean is 70% of our planet. It's 99.9% of the livable space on our planet. And it's the most important climate buffer we have as a natural capital system. So since the Industrial Revolution, the climate has absorbed 50+% of our excess CO2 emissions, and without it, we would all be probably long gone. So we need to preserve the ocean, but there's also a tremendous financial and investment opportunity to do with the ocean. So blue economy in general, set to double in size by 2030 across industrial segments. I'll bring your attention to the 21% number here. So that is the climate CO2 mitigation potential coming from ocean from all these industrial pathways by 2050. So 21%, that's a huge number, 1/5 to meet the Paris Agreement goal, 1.5 degrees. You think there'd be a lot of investment coming into this space. 21%, 0.2% of the venture capital market in 2023 has gone to blue economy financing, which is also a pretty terrifying statistic, right? This was the second best ever year for ocean financing over the last 10 years, 10x from the start 10 years ago from the data set. And this was the worst ever year for venture capital financing globally in terms of volume. And we're still only at 0.2%. So we have such a long way to go here. What does this mean? It means that ocean is a tremendous growth opportunity. It's also a tremendous value opportunity. This is the time to invest. And there are a mountain of opportunities now, and the ecosystem is growing very, very quickly. How do we, at Katapult Ocean, slice and dice the ocean? These are our 4 key industrial domains: energy, transportation, food and water, circular resources, all under immense pressure globally, all being inflated as we run out of resources, and all supported by various different geopolitical programs and government programs. Energy, wind, wave, tidal, floating solar, enabling infrastructure, data, transportation, new ship design, new propulsion systems, new food and water, seaweed, algae, water, desalination, fresh water, and circular resources, plastics, microplastic emission filtration, and new materials. I have 40 seconds, so I'll try and be brief. Some examples of our portfolio: seaweed cultivation, offshore floating structures for new solar, offshore withstand 16-meter wave heights. Transportation, EVO is the fastest production electric vessel in the world just now. Circular resources, matter, we co-invested with S2G Ventures, Regeneration++ last year in this company. Team, mixed competence, 5 unicorns, impact unicorns backed in the last 8 years, working all out of Oslo. And we're raising now a 75 million euro fund, 80% committed and reserved, closing end June this year. So yeah, please come and grab me if you want to learn more. Thank you.
Any questions for the ocean? Questions? Yes? Thank you. The mic is coming your way. Yes?
Hello. Yeah, my question would be, how do you see the freshwater challenge linked to your ocean challenge?
Yeah, we're very excited about the water opportunity, but of course it is a challenge. I think the numbers are by 2050 we'll have a 50% deficit in fresh water globally. And of course some regions are much more affected than that and the deficit will happen much quicker. Currently, we have 2 freshwater desalination companies, one focusing on remote desalination using solar, and one focusing on a nanoparticle for a membrane enhancement for reverse osmosis. So we see it clearly linked. All water flows end up in the ocean, so we need to really be active and involved in that in our strategy. And of course, the impact potential from clean water is huge on the social and environmental side.
Thank you. Yes, another question here. Thank you.
Hello. Just a quick question. Do you work as well with companies that will help towards like biodiversity of marine life, or is it something that unfortunately doesn't get much funding? Because like it feels it's very charity-oriented.
That's a great question. It's almost a planted question because it's super topical. So we invested in our first, I guess, almost pure natural capital play last year in a company called Coral Vita, which is doing reef restoration. There's a pyramid of value when it comes to tangible revenue streams for this kind of business. For coral reefs, it starts with tourism and hotels. Next tangible might be coastal defense and infrastructure, which is more government underwritten. And eventually there will be a carbon market or a biodiversity credit emerging there as well. We're banking that in the next 10 years there will be natural capital markets emerging and new revenue streams coming online. But we're investing in the current revenue streams for these models. And it's very hard to find. I think for natural capital investing, I think there's a bigger question at play. How do you fit natural capital complexity curves into a 10-year fund structure? And maybe we need to be like looking at 10, 50, and 30-year fund structures, evergreens, structured liquidity, plus to enable more investments in natural capital infrastructure.
Thank you very much for this fascinating answer. And this is the type of discussion that you could be having during the short 5-minute break.